carrying 3 crosses, working like 3 bosses, giving them free courses. You will pay for your sins, you will pay for your sins. Try to play with the twins, you get slayed in the end. We will aim for your top, you get grazed in the chin, as we raise from the top. We was raised for the wind, jump in the water and rock the boat. You was just ship you were not to go, but you be smoking the rock and roll. Leslie Muhammad said not to smoke. Wait for power to the people, to the power in the needle. Wait for flowers and gazebos, to the sour in the needle. They devour one placebos, trade a falcon for the ego, trade a malcolm for the ethos, trade a tapper for the kilos. I made a sacrifice, I'll be wide awake while everyone's sleeping. I made a sacrifice, trying to make sure that my family eating. I made a sacrifice, the money to hold the clothes to jewels. I made a sacrifice, cause that's what a king is supposed to do. I made a sacrifice, I made a sacrifice, I made a sacrifice, I made a sacrifice. I got the appetite for living a lavish life, so I got a sacrifice. Now you in the afterlife.
Peace to the family, peace to the family, peace to you and yours. You are in the building. This is your brother Red Pill. This is Melanin Mondays 30. Peace to the family. Yes, indeed. Welcome to a monumental episode of Melanin Monday. We've been here for 30 Mondays. I got some people who've been riding with me for 30 Mondays straight, putting in this work every single Monday, giving y'all this cloth talk. Peace to the family. First and foremost, I want to give a monumental shout out to all of the family in the Baltimore, Capitol Heights area who came out this weekend for the monumental event that we had with Professor Griff, Fear of a Black Planet 2. We're going to get into that. We're going to do a little bit of recap about what happened this weekend, what was talked about, what was built, and, you know, where we're going from here, what the next event is. And, salute to Africa. Salute to Kenya. All right, let's see who's in the building. Salute to Livingston. I saw you in Dominican Republic, Livingston, doing it up with the family. You know what I mean? Peace to that. Yes, sir. So, yeah, this weekend was a success. Man, Fear of a Black Planet 2, 2-day event, Baltimore, B-More, Capitol Heights. First event was in Baltimore. First and foremost, shout out to my brother Jabari. That was the promoter. Him and his family, they were very accommodating. We were able to build with the family afterwards. They were very beautiful family, dedicated to consciousness, dedicated to doing the work. Reality Speaks is the name of the promotion company. So if you're in the DMV Baltimore area, make sure that you sign up with Reality Speaks. Make sure that you go to those events. Make sure that you go to Everlasting Life in Capitol Heights, Maryland. Our brother, Dr. Baruch, he has an establishment that is one of the most, you know, I've been around America. This is one of the most put together, cohesive vegan restaurants. And I only say that not to discredit anybody else, because all around America, if you don't realize, if nobody said anything, there's a boom in plant-based vegan restaurants where people are actually bringing healthy food, healthy living, healthy lifestyle, healthy mind states, alkaline waters, you know what I'm talking about? Sea mosses, juices, smoothies, you know what I mean? All of these things that have been proven to save lives, all of these things that have been proven to be the alternative to everything else that they're pushing on our people, like pharmacopoeia, like medicine, pills and things of that nature, opiates and stuff like that. So to me, when you look around, especially after you saw what happened with the Monsanto verdict, where they awarded a brother, a black man, millions upon dollars. I don't have the exact amount. It might be 28 or it might be 288, but they awarded him, they awarded him that based off of finding Monsanto guilty by having Roundup having cancer-causing agents in the Roundup. So when you say, what is the Roundup, Brother Red Pill? The Roundup is what all of our food is being, not your food, all of our food is being grown in. So there has to be a concerted effort amongst people who are intelligent, people who understand that health is wealth, that nothing trumps health. Health comes before anything. Don't let any of these retards, don't let any of these fools, don't let any of these people who are not disciplined enough to get healthy tell you that being healthy or thinking healthy or eating healthy or feeding your electric body or taking herbs, any of that, that's not going to help you, or that's non-sequential, or that's not something that we should be focused on. And I'm not the most healthiest eating person in the world, but God damn it, I know what I'm striving for. I know that I would never come around and say, oh, nah, we don't need to eat healthy. We need to just eat all of the Roundup and the GMO and the meat that's really feces, and you know what I'm talking about? And all of these animals that were killed and sacrificed in ways where they were slaughtered, in ways where they have all of this bile and all of this toxins and all of this, you know what I mean? All of this fear. Like I made the analogy, if you saw the video of the young boy, the 15-year-old young man named Junior Guzman getting hacked to death in the streets of the Bronx in the beginning of the summer. You see how he was hacked to death and died in fear? That's the same way, and even worse is how some of our dinner meals are being prepared. So we have to have a heavy emphasis on health, because health is definitely wealth. I could tell the different mind states and the different spiritual, the balances people have within their spirit, meaning that they have, you know, they have a connection and they have a balance, a ma'at. They're not all over the place. They're not, you know what I mean? Like, it's very important. They're doing all kind of stuff to us. So why not emphasize diet? Because remember, it's what we put in our mouths that is sacred, correct? So we understand that our people have the power of alchemy, that, you know, grandma with the extra junk right there, she could whip up anything, and because she's an alchemist, she could turn base metal into gold. That is true, and that is very true, and I've seen it happen on many occasions. You feel me? But think about this. We live in a day and time where there are chefs, there are people who are coming about, and they're also whipping up some stuff that tastes even better than soul food, and this stuff is healthy for you. This stuff will have you feeling alive again. This stuff will feed your malnourishment. This stuff will be able to help you deal with some of the issues that you may be having with you and your parasites, because you know there are parasites that begin to take over human beings, and those parasites even send out signals to the brain, and they'll have you talking crazy, looking crazy, and speaking for the parasites. You know, so we got to be very mindful. You know, so make sure y'all go and support. And the brother has a media center inside of Everlasting Life. He has a whole setup where you can do podcasts, where you can do interviews, where you could do anything that your mind can think about. You can contact Dr. Baruch in Capitol Heights at Everlasting Life. This, my friends, I'm bringing back solutions. When we talk about places that we go and we meet people that are doing things, it's my duty to come back to the family and say, look, you know, y'all might not know about it, or you might know about it, but I'm going to talk about my brothers and sisters, because the idea is to speak positively, you know what I'm saying? To speak life, to promote and to help push other people to help them do what they're trying to do, versus the opposite frequency, talking down about people, always trying to throw dirt, trying to sprinkle salt on top of slug shells, on top of turtle shells, my bad. You know what I'm saying? And always, you know what I mean? Speaking, always feeding negatively into what somebody else is doing, you know. So we have to be very mindful of what is going on. But going back to this weekend's event that took place in Maryland, let me know on YouTube if the screen is frozen, because it's frozen on my side. So we had a beautiful event. Professor Griff opened up in in Baltimore. We were inside the Pleasant Baptist Church. So, you know, the church was pretty packed with a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? And the people at the church, they were just, you know, they were like, yo, please, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that the language is not that crazy. But it wasn't that kind of event. We were there to introduce information. We were there to drop knowledge. Each one of us went up there. Professor Griff went up there. He laid it out. He broke it down as Professor Griff does. He talked about the liar thing, the liar Cohen. You know what I mean? And put a perspective about, you know, hold on. Give me 1 minute, FB. I'm getting some glitches in my YouTube thing. Did anybody else's screen froze? Yeah, I think the screen froze. So, Blue Pill, he got up there. He laid down some stuff. We have the recording of the actual lecture. We had a cameraman, a professional cameraman. We actually had it available for live stream, but that option was available to us at like the 23rd hour. So it wasn't even, we didn't even have that much time to start telling the fam, to start getting the fam information. But when we go to Norfolk this weekend, we'll have available links for a live stream for the Norfolk event. We're going to be at the House of Consciousness in Norfolk, Virginia this weekend. And that's going to be lit. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be lit. Give me 1 minute. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yeah. Give me 1 minute, y'all. I got to restart this YouTube because it froze for some reason. But yeah, we're going to have that available. Like I said, just either sign up to the Instagram, EL_PHILTHMOOR, L Filthmore. That's my Instagram page. Whenever I'm putting flyers out, whenever we're putting notices out about what state we're going to be in, that's the best place to go ahead and, you know, get the information from. Hold on a minute. Yeah. Yeah, so Blue Pill went up. Blue Pill did his thing. He wasn't booked as a speaker, so I basically had Blue just do his thing, open up. He talked about Aretha. We were inside of the church, right? It's only right that we talk about Aretha, the Queen of Soul. This is a very important figure right here. This woman is very important, and not just Black history, but musical history, American history. You know what I'm saying? Like, she is truly what they call the Queen of Soul, but now she's the godmother of soul. You know, she's the angel of soul. I spent a lot of days listening to Aretha Franklin, the best of Aretha Franklin. I got some of my favorites and whatnot. One of the best parts of her music and her catalog is that it stretched through multiple generations. So, you know, it was able to evoke memories in a lot of people who've experienced a lot of, you know, family affairs, love affairs, you know, you name it, bingo games, card games, and the soundtrack that was playing in the background was Miss Aretha Franklin. It seemed that every single rent party or hooky, you know what I mean, like the bingo get together with your parents and whatnot, they were listening to Stevie, you know what I mean? They listening to a lot of people, but goddamn it, everybody was listening to Aretha. She was like mama, you know? She was like, you know, she's like big mama when it comes to this music. And like I said in the video that I did with Rich on Black Magic 363, and if you didn't see the video that I did on Aretha Franklin, please go and check that out. I said that, look, soul music is like gospel music. The only thing is, instead of you singing about God, you're singing the praise of another human being, your loved one. You know, the healing modalities inside of that gospel, inside of the soul music, that whole genre of soul music is never to be overlooked. You can't ever put it down. You can't give it up. You know what I'm saying? You can't minimize it. You can't treat it like it's not what it is. The soul music era, and maybe even some of the neo soul. You know what I mean? They get an honorable mention. That whole neo soul movement was very huge and whatnot. And at least they attempted to bring back soul into the music, which is what's missing right now. So the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing, and a lot of us don't agree with what we're hearing inside of the music industry when it comes to black music, or when it comes to hip hop, or when it comes to R&B, or when it comes to reggae, or when it comes to whatever rendition of music that we're responsible for introducing to the world, yeah, it's missing that soul. You know what I'm saying? It's missing that soul from that period. And, you know, certain thing, everything is a cycle. So I'm not here trying to reminisce and trying to say, oh, we got to bring it back, because it's going to come back regardless. It's going to repeat regardless. I'm reminiscing, though, on a time that Aretha Franklin is attached to. And her transition really makes me reflect more so on that time. And more so not only on that time, but the people from that time. Most notably, the elders or older people. Because remember, these archetypes like Aretha Franklin and James Brown, they represent generations. You understand? They represent whole generations of people. And when they begin to make transition, and when they begin to make their exit, and when they begin to make their sunset, whole generations make their sunset as well. You know? So it just made me really focus on that that big mama energy. And it just so happened we were building and teaching inside of a church, and it felt good inside the church. We were able to do what we had to do. So Professor Griff went in there and he talked about the media manipulation against the dealing with the black mind, and he laid out a wonderful dissertation, and he has some very strong words for the traders that are amongst us, both in the industry and in our personal lives. So Blue Pill came up, and then I went up there. I did my thing. You know what I'm saying? There were a little bit of technical difficulties in regards to me being able to open up my actual lecture that I had on the PDF, 100 plus slides and whatnot. I got to open it up midway through the lecture, and then I was able to run through it. The next day, Saturday, that day was special. That day was even better than the next day, Sunday, my bad. The Enemy Decoded, the preparation for victory. That was a powerful lecture. The same lineup as Saturday. Professor Griff nailed it. Blue Pill got up there, nailed it. I got up there for about an hour, nailed it. You know what I'm saying? Took it home. You could ask the people who were there. We got witnesses. But it was a powerful event. Information I was able to completely lay out the case as to we were able to decode what we may describe as the enemy. Some certain people have, they subscribe to the enemy in certain ways, but enemy that we identify with, we identified it at that lecture. Okay. So that's a must. That's a must see right there. That was also recorded. I'm going to be uploading my segment that a sister was able to take on her iPad. I'm going to upload that segment onto the YouTube, but the actual whole thing was caught by Baba TV. So we're going to have that. That's going to be edited. That'll be available to either the Patreons. It'll be available to the Patrons, and it'll also be on other streaming services like either Grace TV, Black on Demand, Brother Ben X's channel, and when we get this Netflix thing going, we'll have it on there as well. So look out for all of that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Also, the Twin video, the Twin the movie, pardon me, that video is going to be coming out very soon. I don't have the date right in front of me, but it's definitely being finished up. There was a resounding approval, a resounding, clap of hands, all around the world when we put that trailer out. I want to say thank you to everybody that showed love and whatnot, everybody that left those, very encouraging words and whatnot. We're going to keep cooking. So just look out for that. Look out for Twin the Movie, episode 1, The Womb. That's on its way. All right. So yeah, we have. Let me put this out there. I have to pay high respect to the Louisiana and the Mississippi Delta for the popular American music. I want to give a shout out to Tennessee. I want to give a shout out to all of the states where all of our musicians have come out of, in the South mostly. You know what I mean? That hotbed for all of that talent, all of those, songbirds, and you know what I'm saying? Like just that wave of talent. So shout out to y'all, because when we were talking about Aretha Franklin, we mentioned her being a resident of Detroit, but we didn't mention her Tennessee origins and pay homage to the brothers and sisters that have been contributing, history coming out the South. All right. So yeah. But yeah, there's some things going on in the news that we're gonna talk about real quick. We did a video earlier with Brother Rich where we talked about all of the sexual misconduct that's being revealed coming by way of the Roman Catholic Church specifically. You know what I'm saying? Because when we talk about other things going on, if we were investigators and we were trying to investigate the origin of crimes and whatnot, if we were trying to get to primary source, when we began talking about other things that are going on, we would not be talking about the source of where a lot of these things are being created at. But now, in these days and times, which is a time after the Grand Alignment, the 888, all of these gates lifting, the Lion's Gate that we talked about and whatnot, all of these veils being lifted, all of these retrogrades, all of these alignments, and they said that, look, we're going to pull the veils back. We're going to reveal some things. So now you find yourself where you have to deal with the aspect of the Roman Catholic Church at a point where it was already undeniable, right? It was already undeniable. I thought we already had this conversation, but hey, now that you want to have it again, there's undeniable proof that the foundation, because the foundation of this church is faith. So the foundation of this very church has been eroded. How has it been eroded? It's been eroded because those who sit at the top, at the capstone of this religion, those who've been appointed by the Holy See, namely the big homies, like, you know how they got gangs and whatnot? We talking the top tier niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, 5-star generals. Yeah, they're out there doing a lot of stuff. There be not just regular anal sex with children. I'm talking about the deviancy and the barbarity of what it is that they're doing is not being revealed to the public. But if you do any kind of research and scratch the surface, you'll realize that the reason why they're like, yo, this 900-page report is heinous is because it describes a culture, a Roman culture, ancient Roman, an ancient Greco-Roman culture that has been going on from time immemorial. So I'm surprised that you're surprised. You keep getting surprised. But our parents knew about it, and our grandparents knew about it, and our great-great-great-grandparents knew about it. You know what I'm saying? We knew that them people would do something strange for a piece of change. So, damn, YouTube. Yeah, YouTube just froze. It's not allowing me to stream, and that's never happened. This is like my second time streaming on that. But anyway, so this is, don't act like this is coming out of nowhere. Like, don't act like you don't know what's going on. Like, oh my goodness, I don't believe that the church would allow that to happen and all of this. No. You know that the Roman Catholic Church, when they started converting, this is an ancient, it's not a rumor. This is an ancient practice. When they rose up in Rome, right? They were responsible for making Rome collapse by bringing a lot of the shit that came with that church. I'm talking about the Holy See. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the papal bulls. I'm talking about the popes of Rome. I'm talking about that this has been their culture ever since their inception. You don't even got to look far. The minute you start reading about them, they start jumping out the closet and tell you what they was about and who they were and how they like little boys and whatnot and how that was their appetite and how they looked at women like they was wild strange. So fast forward to them conquering the Moors when they began converting them into Moriscos, or what they call little Moors, and they began to attribute all of these Christian names to them. So people who were like Abu Bukhari, Muhammad Idris, they gave them names like Alejandro, you know what I mean, Jorge, you know what I mean, and all of this other stuff. So we got to remember. And then not only did they give them these and they call it anglicized names, but they began to treat them like Romans. So when you convert a Muslim, or when you convert a Jew, right? And don't get caught up in all of the religions. I'm just describing in those days and times groups of people who are identified by these terms. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure they all had other different tribal terms, but I'm giving you the connotation of how they were looking at them. Muslims, they will convert the Muslims into Christians or little Moors, but then they will also do what? They would turn them out. They would rape them. You know what I'm talking about? They would introduce them to their Greco-Roman lifestyles, and they would commence to, turn them out. And this is what has been happening for hundreds of years in the sex farms, on plantations, in Catholic schools, in private schools. You know what I mean? Remember, this is like a factory where they're making all of these Count Draculas. And why do I say Count Draculas? Because predators go and bite other people and turn them into predators, who go and bite other people and turn them into predators and turn them into... So it's a whole cycle. It's like vampires biting vampires biting vampires. So when pedophiles violate children, some of those children grow up and violate other children, and then those children, it's a cycle. And it's incurable, according to certain people. It's not cure. There's no cure to that. One of the few crimes that there's no cure. There's no you can't. People are like, yo, once they got that in their system, they balls deep. Pause. So these people, and remember, there's a church inside of the church, and inside of that church, this is what they do. And they've been taking souls and feeding them to their demigods and their demiurges, and their egregores for time. They've been feeding fetuses, feeding babies, feeding innocent, because if you could have sex with a child, you could kill a child. You know what I'm talking about? So this is what we're dealing with. And it's not just isolated to a 900-page report about something in Pennsylvania, for that matter. No, this is everywhere that you go. This is in all of the quote-unquote third world. How is it that a church goes somewhere in the world, and that place used to be a paradise, turns into a third world? So you mean to tell me that what kind of salvation is really coming to you if the people showed up, your resources flew out the back of the island, you know what I mean, out of the ports and whatnot, your town or your country or your island turned into a sexual pervert paradise, because all of the places where these churches are the same places where what? The sex industry is booming for children and young women, like DR, like Puerto Rico, Brazil. You know what I'm talking about? All of these places have big statues of Jesus, big Roman cathedrals. But that's how they go. That's how they keep it. That's a trait, because there's abuse taking place on levels that have been never even can't be calculated. Look, they're just finding shit out from people talking about it. So you already know you could multiply that by about 50 or 100. Man, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, we have to be logical and just look at this. This is not even deep. Like, this is just some basic logic, my niggas. Like, this is just, like, this is what they do. So why would we allow, our people to be subjugated anymore and not ask questions like, What do you you know? What do you think this is? This whole thing about, because remember, it wasn't just, it was a few cases that came out this weekend. It wasn't just the thing with the archdiocese. It's all kind of revelations taking place. And what it boils down to is that we need to take our children and protect our children and get them out of these institutions and get them away from certain kind of people, because we know that these people don't have their best interests at hand. You know what I mean? We could cut right through the chase. So, you know, that's what we see. Pardon me, y'all. I'm just trying to get this whole YouTube thing, trying to figure what's going on, because the app is not even working for some reason, oddly enough. But yeah, y'all, you know what I mean? This week we have a lecture coming up inside of Norfolk, Virginia, all right? This lecture is going to be the first of a series of lectures that we're going to be doing. This lecture is entitled Conscious Industry, okay? The reason why this lecture is entitled Conscious Industry is because this lecture is going to focus on the conscious industry, the industry that we all belong to, that is known as consciousness. Why is it an industry? It's an industry because inside of this community that people call a community, it's really not a community. It's more like a network. It's multiple networks that are connected by nodes and whatnot via the internet, and also strongly and you know, rightfully so enough, in the real world, there's multiple connections. Don't get it messed up. We're traveling all around America, and my brother has been traveling around the world. You know, there are enclaves of brothers and sisters who are tightly connected, you know what I mean, by not just consciousness, but also, you know, other interests. You know what I'm talking about? Like, so don't, you know, please don't ever underestimate the numbers. Don't underestimate the amount of people who have things going on. Don't underestimate the amount of progress. Do not underestimate the amount of people who are making major moves in the name of consciousness all around America, outside of America. I talk to people in China. I talk to people in Japan. I talk to brothers in Africa. I talk to brothers all around the world, different nationalities as well. They get in contact with Red Pill because if they're getting the information is colorblind. My information, my nature knows no color line. My information knows no color line. Where this book at? I just bought one the other day. Let me show you. That was As Nature Leads, J.A. Rogers. From Superman to Man. And make sure y'all check that out. You know what I'm saying? But this is the author of Nature Knows No Color Line. So the information knows no color line. So there's people who are reaching out who have resources and they want to build, you know what I mean? And they're giving us information about things that we need to share with the family. And I'm letting you know that we belong collectively. I'm not talking about me personally. Collectively, all of these different organizations, all of these different movements, all of these different personalities or personas who identify as conscious, who have movements attached to their names and things of that nature, collectively, there's a multi-trillion-dollar industry just in that circle, just in that network, or just in that enclave, or just in that collective alone. So we have to get into. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna dig deep into that. And if anybody saw the other lectures that we did dealing with solutions, facts, initiative, the evolution will be digitized. Those are the names of some of the ones that we did before that are solution based and deal with a lot of information that has come to fruition in these years, you know what I mean, later down the line in these years that we have now. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of prophecy. There was a lot of seeds that were planted. There was a lot of information and a lot of data. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of gems were given out inside of the lecture. The evolution, you could go and Google it. The evolution will be digitized. Part 1 and 2, and Facts Initiative. That was on Black News 102 and I believe the other one was also on Black Magic 363. So with the conscious industry, and we also did the conscious industry a few years ago. So this is going to be the updated version, and it's just going to deal with a whole bunch of information that the family definitely needs to hear if you're ready to industrialize, or if you're industrious, if you're an industrious kind of person. And you may not be industrious. You may just be into book reading. You may be into rallies. You may be into, not, you know what I mean, meditation, yoga, and whatnot. That might not be a thing, but that, you know, I'm letting you know that that should be a thing. You know what I'm saying? If we have when we put the live stream link out, just make sure to tap in. You know, you can't, you know, it's Professor Griff. Like, you don't know what he's gonna come with. The brother has been in the industry. Whether he's been at the top of, you know what I mean, of the billboards, that doesn't matter. The longevity of that man, that 30 some odd year later, he's still relevant inside of the music industry, and not just for being a musician, but for being somebody who's telling the unadulterated truth, speaking truth to goddamn, when a lot of those other, you know what I mean, there's a lot of other people who could be speaking the truth. They could be speaking probably more truth. I don't know about that, but they could be giving their version of the truth based off of what they know, based off of what they have witnessed inside of the industry, based off of just basics. You know what I'm talking about? But they've decided not to. And Professor Griff has continued to do what he said he was going to do when he came out as the Minister of Information. So salute to the OG. Keep doing what you do. You know what I'm talking about? And, you know, we're going to be doing some monumental things. You know what I mean? We already have 3 more dates for the Fear of a Black Planet tour that we've been doing, the narrative, because the narrative is continuously evolving. Keep in mind, the narrative is continuously evolving. It's mutating. So information that we presented a year ago that was seen as, you know, yo, this is some serious shit. Like you need to really focus. Like a year later, when you look back on it, it's some other stuff that's going on that where they're pushing the envelope even further. So what we're doing is we're cataloging time when a lot of people decided that they wouldn't do that. When people opted out of cataloging time. So the Fear of a Black or More Messiah series, I'm watermarking, I'm cataloging a time period. The 2000 and the information that I gave out in the first Fear of a Black or More Messiah 1, you know what I'm talking about? That reality that we existed in at that time, is we don't exist in that reality anymore. You need to go back and listen to that lecture and just listen to what I did. That in October. Trump became president in November. Like I said, I'm sitting down, I'm being humble. But you need to go and listen to that lecture. Let me see, where's that lecture? Is that lecture here? Rearranged this spot, made this more like a workspace. So I don't know where the lecture is at the moment, but when I do the edit, I put it in there. But the lecture definitely was prophecy on so many different levels. Like it's Fear of a Black or More Messiah, the first one, and the second one that I did in the same church that I did my Fear of a Black Planet 2 the other day. I did that part 2. That's on Brother Richard's channel. Legend shit. And this is a time capsule. So we know where we were at mentally and what was going on. You know, we're even thinking about making it into a documentary. It deserves the upgrade. You know what I'm talking about? It deserves the upgrade. I could just chop up all of those series and just show how everything has come true. I could just do the philosophies. You know what I'm talking about? I could do philosophies, a series, a 6-part series, because it's a lot of stuff that we got to cover. You know what I mean? So the work is never done. You know, the work is never done. Hit me up if you want one of these business cards. You know what I'm talking about? That's the Instagram. I know some people don't know how to spell it right, but that's the Instagram. That's the Twitter. Okay. And that's the website. That's the clothing website. Some people don't even know that we've been entrepreneurs, had a clothing website, multiple clothing brands for years. So social entrepreneur, creative artist, Kings County, all that. All right. So, you know, The lecture is gonna, and then the powerful aspect of doing a information filled lecture dealing with the conscious industry is that the next day you get to see a musical performance. So we're not just talking about it. We're gonna show you the richness. We're gonna show you that ye are wealthy. We're gonna show you that inside of this network is all of the answers to all of the problems that we claim that we have. Because if we have a financial problem, there's about 10 solutions that are active right now. If we have a social problem, a problem of organizing, there are about five to 10 different algorithms, meaning solutions that you can apply to all of those situations that you can identify. If there's a problem with being able to link up with people because everybody is scattered around the world, well, there's about 10 solutions to that as well. There's apps for that, but there's other solutions as well. If there's an issue about permission to do what the fuck that you got to do in order to elevate yourself, well, goddamn it, we got some of the goddamn permission slips so you could do what you got to do and stop asking permission to be great. So anything that we want to do, we can actually do it. I could do it, like I said, the power is in the now. I could do it on this show right now. We can make it happen right now. So, nothing is impossible. And like I said, in the direction that we're moving and in the message that we're beginning to deliver, we're going to focus more on the membership. We're going to focus more on the solutions. We're going to focus more on the shifters. We're going to focus more on, funding our own projects so we don't have to wait on anybody, pray for anybody's help. You know what I'm talking about? Shake any kind of cup. No, that those days are over. That will never happen. So, this first lecture, The Conscious Industry, this will be the beginning of some another stream of consciousness that we're going to be sharing with the family. Right now, we're doing Monuments of Things with Fear of a Black Planet 2 to the place where I feel like that's ready to become a documentary, or that's ready to become even just a series, a multiple series, not just a documentary, but like a docu-series, similar to what they do at Vice, you know what I mean? Because the story needs to be told because it's out there in the open. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, it's out there in the open that there's something going on that nobody is talking about. When you put all of these pieces together, you'll realize that, look, we're on the rise because I can identify a fall. So in order to identify the rise, you should be able to identify some shit that's falling. And goddamn it, Rome is falling. Make no mistake about it. You know what I'm saying? Make no qualms about it. Rome is falling. The empire is falling. What Elijah Muhammad predicted in the fall of America, he so eloquently predicted, it has so eloquently come true. So we're in the midst of that. What we're saying is, some of us are preparing for the future or preparing for the now for that matter. You know what I'm talking about? Or we're just working. We're just active. We're just being. We're just doing. We're just building. We're just creating. We're just tapping in. We're just downloading. You know what I mean? We're just linking up. We're just basically laying things out, writing the code, rewriting the code, adding on. Because so many people have taken away, rebuilding, restructuring, putting the infrastructure back together on this information highway. You know what I'm talking about? Popping wheelies like Meek Mill and them niggas on that highway. You know what I mean? Sideways. Shooting at the agent sideways, So we just, look, man. It is what it is, man. If you know, you know. And it's a wonderful time to be doing what we're doing. All of us. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about us all. Everybody is contributing to what it is, means something to their purpose. They're contributing to their purpose. They're contributing to their elevation. They're contributing to their upgrade. They're contributing to their transformation. They're contributing to their elevation. They're rising up. You know how many people, I keep meeting people in the streets and, it's you got to understand that this is difficult because there's certain things that you have to stay grounded and not buy into. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain things that you can't be like, oh shit. You can't just buy into certain things. But I'm a listener and I'm an observer. And the things that people are telling me that the information and the videos are doing for them is damn near putting tears in my eyes. You know what I mean? Because the shit is crazy because people don't even realize that when I'm doing the videos, you might not even realize what I'm going through. So they're like, yo, your videos is helping me get through shit. I'm like, well, shit, my nigga, you don't even know when I was doing the video, the shit that I was going through. So that's getting me through shit too. So thank you. I got to thank myself too. These videos are therapeutic. These videos are ways of sharing the information the way that I've been trained, the way that I've been groomed. Remember, me and Blue Pill were doing Know the Ledge Radio every single Tuesday and Friday for about 6 to 7 years, nonstop. 700 some odd episodes. I'm tired of talking about it. You're gonna have to see it in the, when we put the stories out. But you could Google the archive. You could go and check it out. Go and Google the archive, Know the Ledge Radio. Go and check out some of the shows that we put out. Go and listen to some more prophecy. You know what I mean? Indulge yourself. Go and listen to some more of the lights of the community shine their light. Some of the most intelligent, some of the most forward-thinking, some of the most important, some of the most relevant teachers of this millennium were guests. You know what I mean? With the pillars. They were standing between the pillars teaching on Know the Ledge Radio. Classic episodes. Dr. Sadie, classic episodes. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, classic episode. Dr. Shahrazad Ali, classic episode. You know what I mean? Dr. Umar Johnson, classic episode. Dr. Phil Valentine, classic episodes. Taj Tariq Bey, classic episodes. Hakeem Bey, classic episodes. I could go on for days. And these are episodes with S's on the end. No episode was fugazi, no arguing, no back and forth, no ego tripping, no set tripping, no narcissism, no fucking delusion of grandeur, people dumbing out, It was some fugazis that got up there, but, that goes without saying. That's always the ratio. 80-20 is always the rule. So, doing these videos, doing Melanin Monday, we at 30 right now. Doing, because me and Blue came back and we were doing Know the Ledge via Facebook Live and whatnot, and then we took a hiatus because, we've been traveling, we move around. This shit is not, this is not a simple thing. But we're bringing back the podcast, and we're doing a lot of things I won't even mention. It's not even time to mention things, you know what I mean? You don't throw shit like that out there just to talk about it. Like I said, membership, I'm looking for that 30,000, you know what I mean? We're going to get that 30,000. We're going to get that in record amount of time, and we're going to make magic happen. You know what I'm saying? And I have to stay focused and I have to stay on that path, and I can't allow anybody to take me off that path. So now that I'm on that path and I've, declared that that's the path, of course, there's going to be obstacles. Of course, there are going to be roadblocks. Of course, demons are going to come. You know what I'm talking about? Because this is the mythos. That's how it goes down. So, everything is written. And, we're going to make it happen. They have us looking towards the east. Yeah. I'm still bugging over this YouTube thing. Pardon me, y'all. Because it's literally black screen where the YouTube is. So I'm trying to figure out why, because no other screen is black. All right, we ain't gonna play with this phone. Let this shit sit right here. So yeah, that's what it is. We're gonna make this one short. You know what I'm talking about? I got a lot of studying to do. I got a lot of, I gotta make more because I sold out of Kings County. This is a limited edition. Check this out. Look at the arms. Shit got the Jordan. the Jordan things. Then they got the jump off on the side. You know what I mean? So, you know, conscious industry. Nah, I ain't gonna get out of here. Let me give you a little bit of cloth about this conscious industry talk. Conscious industry, the fact that when I travel to multiple states, all I'm seeing is open space. I'm seeing warehouses. When I took the Amtrak down to Baltimore, all along the Amtrak line, all you see is these warehouses with rigs plugged into the warehouses. The warehouses are either supplying inventory, or the warehouses are actually making things from nut to bolt right there on the assembly line, putting things together and then shipping it out. Basically boxing up the money, boxing up the weight, putting them peas together. You know how people be saran wrapping all of that work and then putting them in the truck and all of that? Well, people are doing that with clothes. People are doing that with cleaning supplies. People are doing that with all kind of stuff, all kind of fabrics and whatnot. They're enterprising. My question, my challenge, what we're going to do, the formula that we're going to introduce is going to involve taking that and doing something with it, being able to have factories, being able to have trucking, being able to have distribution, being able to have manufacturer production, in-house production, where we can have what is known as distribution centers, conscious distribution centers, where we'll be able to take in multiple businesses, multiple brands, multiple LLCs, and do their printing, do their shipping, do all of the things that they need to be done, of course, for a percentage, you know what I mean? But we have the goal, we have the formula on how to become a distribution center. That's what we'll be introducing. That's not the only thing, but that's one of the aspects of what we'll be discussing this weekend in the conscious industry. You understand? That's needed in the West Coast. That's needed on the East Coast. That's needed in the South. That's needed in the Midwest. For all of the conscious brands, for all of the conscious, all of the conscious marketplaces and whatnot, they can now contract. They can now get into the union. They can now become a part of this whole conglomerate. We can begin to contract out to We Buy Black and other places who have different businesses inside of their network, and then say, listen, we have a distribution center. We're willing to do the work. We're willing to do the press, the silk screening, the vinyl cutting, maybe even the cut and sew, right? We're willing to ship it out, and we're willing to put it into boxes and whatnot that look very fashionable with your logo and all of these other things like hang tags and all of these other professional things that make it industry standard, and put it into, the plastic and all of this stuff. Distribution sites upgrade. So now with all of these LLCs and all of these conscious businesses who began to make vows and began to agree that, look, I'm only going to shop with you. When I want my shea butter, I'm going to get it from you. When I want my t-shirts, I'm going to get it from you 5 or 10 guys. You know what I mean? I'm going to get it from the family. I'm going to get it from the network. I'm going to make my money circulate. I'm going to make my cryptocurrency circulate. I'm going to make my bankroll circulate. Whatever it may be, whatever the mode of payment, I'm going to make my digital, my digital dash. I'm going to make my one, whatever it may be, you tap into that and then you make it happen. You dig what I'm saying? Because if you see this thing as the industry that it is, then you can change the direction that we are going in, and you can add value, and you can add what is known as market value to what this thing here is, before somebody with a hook nose and a small hat comes along and they take this thing like Liar came inside of Def Jam and deboed and took over, and now you have broke rappers. Okay, and shit was already bad inside of consciousness with broke teachers, poor unrighteous teachers, poor righteous teachers, but it's a lot of poor unrighteous teachers as well. And people may have material wealth, but they're still poor. Do you understand that the mentality, the heart and everything and the consciousness is poor? And you're falling for the illusion. You think that trinkets are not, you think because of trinkets and other things that people are not poor. So if we have to talk to the unconscious community, if we have to talk to the 85ers, if we got to talk to the knuckle draggers, if we got to talk to the monks, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. if you understand the internet, if you understand cyberspace, and if you understand what the fuck the matrix really is, then you understand that you belong to the long tail. So it's endless pitch. So we team building, we snake charming, and we cutting the heads off of the snake, mowing the grass and tightening up the circle. And we moving forward. And there's work to do because we're doing the work, and we're here to let you know this is the best place that you can be in the mode of guarding. Don't be sitting around doing nothing. You're just going to turn into another one of those haters because some of your biggest admirers become some of your biggest haters. You understand? Some of the motherfuckers who are used to seeing you at your lowest, they can't stand to see you at your high. You understand? And they'll do anything to bring you back to a place where they know you from or they're comfortable with you at. So you got to fly high on these niggas and shit on their heads. You know what I'm talking about? Falcons don't fly with these pigeons. So we got work to do. The Patreon, it should have 500 of y'all on it by now. We got work to do. The Patreon should have about 500. We put the trailer out. We showed you. We shot a movie. Like without asking nobody for nothing, without begging nobody for nothing. You know what I'm talking about? We shooting movies. And there's work to be done. And we want to shoot movie. We want to shoot 100 more movies. And we can do that. And we will do that. And that will manifest. That will come to fruition because I say it, because I said it is. You know what I'm talking about? Because we say it, you know, so mote it be. And the power of film, the power of music. I heard Brother Panic the other day. He had a lecture and he was talking about ayahuasca and he was talking about music, basically being here to do music, the highest purpose. And I'm here to let you know, doing art and expressing oneself and tapping into that aspect of self or who you know, tapping into, hold on 1 minute, y'all. Tapping into that aspect of my creative self, man, that was something that I promise you, like there's a freedom in that I can't explain. There's a freedom in that I can't explain. Being able to take ideas that came to you while you was on a train, while you was looking at somebody who just shot dope, leaning, his nose touching the goddamn floor and whatnot. Then there's another dude coming through the train, really looking like he came out of I Am Legend, real life zombie shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like dragging his arm and whatnot, smelling like eight freezers where 8 freezers where the electricity went out. You know how they got a room that there's no and yeah, smelling like that. And I'm just sitting there looking at the decadence. I'm surrounded by decadence on some occasions, and that's when the best rhymes are coming into my head. You know what I'm talking about? I may be calculating all kind of numbers and whatnot, dealing with business and things of that nature, and then I got lyrics just bombarding, coming to me, streams of consciousness talking to me. So I write it down. Then later on, I hit the booth. They magically all come together, right? They come and form together in this magical 16 or 32 bar soliloquy. You know what I'm talking about? I perform. I tap into my shoe, my air. I record it, and here we are, a motherfucking legend. You know what I'm talking about? And we make Moorish history, and we've been putting out classics, and it's a good feeling. You know what I'm talking about? It's a good feeling because naturally I am an artist. Let me show you something. Look at the artwork. This is Blue Pill. Blue Pill did that in the 90s. Look at the artwork, fam. Blue Pill did that with pencils. He did that with a pencil and a piece of toilet paper tissue. Okay? While he was incarcerated, family. Come on, fam. Niggas is artists. So when you writing rhymes, you're an artist. You're writing rhymes. It's the same thing like drawing. So there's no coinky dink that the majority of nice MCs are artists. Eminem is an artist. Beanie Siegel is an artist. Kanye West is an artist. These people are artists, like artists. My brother is a beast. My brother is he's a master artist. My brother's a master pencilist. You know what I'm talking about? Yo, where the nation at? Come on, y'all, where the nation? This is P. Moore, 95. You see that? What were you doing in 95? What were you doing? This is KT, the arts degree. No, that's mine. This is KT, the arts degree. The whole family talented. This is me. Remember Lobo? Yeah, this is my stuff. We had that on the front of our door. It said, do not enter. That was our door greetings. Wolverine, before the X-Men movie, before you niggas even knew who Wolverine was. My niggas macking. Where's her hand going? This was my Atlanta days. Where's her hand going? He's macking. That's that clock talk. I think he was listening to Mac lessons. Look, you niggas all in your polo shit right now. This is a party flyer from the 90s, man. Don't get mad at me if I'm reminiscing, y'all. This is my life, nigga. Huh? Look at that. That was a party flyer. So, you know, we got some cartoons lined up coming up. I mean, I don't want to talk about everything, but it's going down, man. Like, I'm going to do a whole kids line and start putting this on the kids' shirts for the little ones. Like I told niggas, give me a budget. I'll change the world. But it don't matter. I don't need a budget. I'm talented. You know what I'm talking about? Ye are rich. I am a budget. I cook up budgets, my nigga. Give me a heat press and a silk screen machine. I'll cook up a budget. So yeah, you know. They try to put us in all kind of evaluations when they saw the artwork. Because we were very violent towards Peckerwood. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to show you some stuff right now. This is it. I need y'all to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. Don't snitch on me to the boys. Okay? Come on, man. The art gallery is coming soon. We're gonna have, this is part of the whole Twin the Movie thing. I'm letting y'all in on some stuff, but the whole Twin the Movie is gonna be dealing with the 90s, the artwork. You know what I'm saying? If you go and listen to some of the music, this is Blue Pill. Come on, man. He did this in the early 2000s. Niggas wasn't talking about being God in the hood. Niggas wasn't talking about pharaohs in the hood. Niggas wasn't talking about none of that stuff back then, B. Look at that, by the train station. So, like I said, man, if you creative, you think your way out of poverty. We all got gifts and talents. You know what I'm saying? We all got gifts and talents. Tap into your gifts and talents. Your gifts and talents are part of the conscious industry. Your gifts and talents are worth billions of dollars. Your gifts and talents are worth trillions of dollars. So you don't wait for nobody to do nothing for you. You got to do it you don't got to do it by yourself, but if you do it with your network, if you do it collectively, if you do it with some people who are focused, then you're going to make it, bro. So I need all of my digital illustrators, my cartoonists and whatnot. I'm showing y'all this stuff because I need y'all to pull up. I need y'all to holler at me. You know what I mean? I want to make this. I want to make toys. I want to make this cartoons. I want to make this video games. This is original 1990 artwork. Some of y'all wasn't even born back then. Like, this is that era that people talk about. This is that gun era. This is that hip hop golden era. You know what I mean? So this is what the artwork captures, all of this stuff. I don't have to sit around and give you fake war stories on, yo, what we was doing. Yo, son, yo. Nah, I'll just show you the artwork. That was my mind state. That was our mentality. We was really thinking on what the fuck we was drawing. Like, you know what I mean? That was where we was at mentally. Don't judge me. Don't judge. Ice Cube did that shit to me with the Ice Cube and whatnot. Like, well, y'all. You wanna get this bag, niggas? Y'all niggas talking about getting the bag, get to the bag. Let's go. Animation is a $1 billion industry. Video games is a multi-billion dollar industry. Virtual reality is a $1 billion industry. You know what I'm talking about? Vintage, nigga. Hip hop is a $1 billion industry. You know what I'm talking about? Graffiti and artwork is one of the elements of hip hop. This is hip hop, nigga. This is hip hop. What is you talking about? Like, wait till you see this shit blown up, bigger than life. Yeah, we was getting busy back in the days. It's my nigga Calvin. He was an OG. The great bank robberies. I saw Reservoir Dogs. I got inspired by Reservoir Dogs to do this. You know what I mean? These niggas would travel. These are some Brooklyn shooters and whatnot. And they would travel around and rob banks. You know what I mean? It was like Heat. They would get jobs and whatnot, and they would go down south and other places, quiet towns, and rob the banks. You see? They was bank robbers. This was all the way back in the days. These are some cartoons. These are some series that I got, man. Like I said, teamwork makes the dream work. So if I help do something for you in your life, if I help change something in your life, if I help better something in your life, if I help inspire you to be somebody in your life, then, provide the resources, because these things take resources. This take computers, you know what I mean? All kind of Mac computers, 3D programs. Remember, I'm self-sufficient. We are self-sufficient. We're not sitting around waiting for nobody's budget. We're not sitting around waiting for nobody to put us on their lap and tell us how much they like us. Oh, man, we believe in you guys. You guys are special. Nigga, please. We know we special. You know what I'm saying? We need to take care of our affairs and, handle the business. Yeah, it was a lot of violence too. They didn't like us. I remember my parole officer came to my house and saw the artwork on the wall. She was like, Negro, we need to talk. I was like, what's up? She said, you're showing signs of violence. Look, they don't want no smoke. No smoking. Remember the used jeans? Remember the Columbias with the whiz bang? Huh? Remember that? Look, what year is that? PTM, that's my initials, Phil Thomas Moreland. I didn't put the year. This is the early 90s, man. So, it's a lot of shit, man. I don't want to go through everything. I got to keep some things exclusive, you know what I mean? I already let y'all in on a humongous treasure trove, but I want to share that with y'all. I want y'all to see that we are looking for some talent. We're looking for some qualified talent out there. We want you to come and work with us. This stuff is powerful, but we have more stuff to do. We're just showing you stuff that we've already done, but imagine what we can do. You know what I mean? Imagine what we will do. Imagine what we are going to do. So this is my resume. This is KT the arts degree right here. KT the arts degree is a master artist, right? KT the arts degree is a master artist. Y'all didn't know that. That boy's work is immaculate. So shout out to Blue Pill, shout out to KT. You know what I mean? Y'all keep doing what y'all do. I love y'all. And you know, y'all inspire me. Y'all inspire me to be greater. I'm nowhere near where I want to be as in my greatness. I'm only getting started. So that's what it looks like when you digitize it. I just showed you the regular version. I showed you the raw version where, let me see. So this is an idea. I'm showing you that this was like the raw version. The raw version was like that. Then we put the background in there, basically digitizing it. Look, let me show you something. This is crazy. I got to give you this one. I just did a lecture called Fear of a Black Planet, right? So look at the year, 1990, right? He got the ankh on his chest, right? He got the ankh on his chest, the red, black, and green, and the Public Enemy. It's a black thing, G. You wouldn't understand. Fear of a Black Planet. So I'm living out my childhood dreams right now. Y'all don't understand this. Please understand where you know, it's all about vantage point. Everybody got their perspective, and I'm respective of people's perspective. I'm respective of your vantage point. I'm actually in the audience listening to your story and whatnot, enjoying myself, eating on some popcorn. You know what I'm talking about? But nigga, this is my story right now, so I'm gonna share my experience. Look at that. Remember Black Bart? You see how the 90s came back? So the 90s is back, so that means the artwork is back. So that means I'm back in my 90s state of mind and whatnot. So henceforth, the album Twin. Twin was the name that they called us when we were doing this artwork. That was who I was known as, Twin, KT's artwork. Come on, B. I need some t-shirts, man. We need t-shirts, right? So we're going to be putting this on t-shirts. We're going to be making artwork. We got an art gallery show coming up. You know what I mean? So stay tuned for all of that. But in the meantime, between time, I need my illustrators. You niggas are too shy to be stop being shy. You know what I mean? Reach out, holler, you know, tap in. You know what I'm talking about? And let's make some things happen. Because I know that y'all are, I know the work that y'all can do. This was one of the first, this was the first design that I had for Kings County. This was the first design that I had for Kings County. This was my inaugural design that I put on a t-shirt, and I wanted to test the streets to see if they were ready. This was 2004, right? 2004. I wanted to test the streets and see if they were ready for a comedic streetwear line, right? And I put this on a t-shirt. Look, this is a thing. I put it on a t-shirt, right? And I've never turned back ever since. Look at that nigga eyes. Hypnotizing. You feel me? You see that wave that got started? This was 2004, mind you. Now they got people on Instagram taking pictures like this, tatted up, with the rollie on some Nuwabian shit. Or, you know, they got all of that on. Like Ra Omar be drawing. So, just a little history lesson. I'm tired, man. I'm ready to go to sleep. I just exerted a lot of brain power. Taking you niggas back into the DeLorean. Victorian. You know. It's more, but we'll get into it. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's what the membership is going to be about. That's what all of these classes is going to be about. I could even teach you niggas to draw, maybe. You know, that's what all of that is going to be about. The app is coming back. You know what I mean? We're just going to let this, these last few lectures that we're doing wind down, because when we're in lecture mode, it's hard to get a lot of things done. We got to do orders. We got to do research. You know what I'm talking about? We still have to do a lot of traveling. So there's a lot of things that have to be done, but we're waiting on you. We're waiting on you. The Patreon is Patreon.com/Red Pillar. You know, we're waiting on you. All of this is crowd sourced. All of this is crowd supported. All of this is crowd funded. So your participation and your funding definitely enhances. It doesn't start up. It's already been started up. It just enhances. It just adds on. You know what I'm talking about? It's like gas money. It keeps the car going. And this is the car. You know what I mean? This is the car. My Temple is my car. This is my Ferrari. You know what I'm talking about? This is my motherfucking Wraith. This is my Ghost. But I could hop out another European shell. I could hop out another shell of a shell. And, you know, but this is your first Ghost. This is your first vessel. It's your body. If this is not taken care of, you can't do nothing. I don't give a fuck what you driving. If this isn't taken care of, if you can't breathe, if you're coughing up all of it, no. Going back to what I was saying earlier in the program, health is wealth. Look out for Health, Self-Wealth, featuring Cambada. Red pill and blue pill. Health is wealth. There's nothing above that. That should be the number one focus, even if there's people out there who don't believe in health. There's a lot of things that I don't believe in. You know what I'm saying? You have faith in health. Fuck a belief, my nigga. You better have faith in health. You better have faith in health is wealth. You better have faith in the optimal of being in optimal shape and whatnot. Being able to have your body parts operate in the way that they were created to operate in which. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. Tell your brother with the 3D artwork, can you just be the building bridge? I got a lot of shit on my hand. Can y'all, like, y'all gotta meet me halfway, because I'm not chasing nobody down. Like, y'all gotta meet me halfway. But if you hit the inbox, if you hit up the email, I'm gonna write it down right now so you can see it. I gave you the Instagram. If you go to my gram, slide in the DMs. My DMs is packed. You know what I'm saying? My DMs be jam-packed. And the information that I get from a lot of people in my DMs is very appreciative. I get I'm doing business in the DM. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not an Instagram baddie and whatnot. I know they doing more business than me, but God damn it, I'm doing business in the motherfucking DMs. People who want to spend bread and make things happen, you know, they in your DMs. Or you can send me an email. We're getting a lot of requests to do cities and whatnot and states. People are hitting us up. We got Newark coming up. We got Florida, Miami coming up. We have Norfolk, of course, that's this weekend coming up. We got dates. We got Pittsburgh coming up. There you go. That's the email. The mark125th@gmail.com. All right, the mark125th@gmail.com. That's all yours. All right, check that out. Send me any information. Booking inquiries. You niggas want to feature? I'm charging for features. You know what I mean? Just to put that out there. I don't do freebies. You know what I'm talking about? If you want to do shows, if you want to build, if you want to give me your clothes to represent, to wear in the videos, I do that as well. Shout out to Janone. God damn it. Almost broke my damn neck. Shout out to Janone. Shit is fire. You know what I mean? So if y'all want to hit me up, hit me up. Like I said, Red Pillar, Patreon, /Red Pillar. I'm doing poor man editing right now. I should be doing the editing to put it up, but I'll just do it just to show you I'm serious on the card. And then we might even edit it as well. But here we go, Red Pillar, Patreon. Because people be saying they don't know how things are spelled. So there you go. I need to come to Niagara Falls. Yeah, they call that nigga falls. You know what I mean? A lot of the places where they did these massacres on our people are somehow lost. Like it's almost like a spell. But yeah, we'll talk about the Niagara Falls thing. I was up in Plattsburgh many moons ago. We passed through Niagara Falls. So I would love to get up there and actually do a lecture about what really happened in Niagara Falls when they slaughtered the indigenous women and men in that area. You know what I mean? So we got to talk about that. But yeah, love and light to the family. I'm about to check out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got shit to do. It's been fun. You know, we might even we're going to give you the upload of my segment on Sunday at Capitol Heights at Everlasting Life. That's going up on the page tonight or tomorrow. Look out for that. And we'll get back to you maybe even before next Monday. All right? Peace.